Alright, it's been forever since my last video, but I'm just gonna go ahead and start this one. I'm literally just playing this like all-star raid on Dokkan, you know, the 999 stages of pure and utter pain. I think I have the game volume all the way down because this is more of a focus on the that Dragon Ball superhero movie, because it's like 7:50. I had like a 5 o'clock watch time. It finished like 20 minutes ago or something because it didn't actually start at 5. But I'm just going to talk about my opinions on the movie. So this is the second time I've seen it. The first time I've seen it was not a great quality because it was like some sort of bootleg version. I don't know, 420p, and it was subbed, obviously, so I could understand what was actually happening. And I watched it, I don't know, a month or so ago, not too long. And originally, my opinion wasn't that great on the movie because I'm not the biggest fan of like CGI, and the animation was just not it for me, and the quality was low. But I mean, it makes sense because it was bootlegged or whatever you want to call it. So today I went and got an official like ticket, went and watched the theater version because it released today in North America and yesterday, depending on where you were. But I went and watched the sub version because I'm not the biggest fan of the dub. I grew up watching the dub like for Kai, but when it came to Super, because it was airing every week, I watched it subbed. So I just decided to go ahead and do this one subbed as well. I'm just going to go ahead and say that my opinion has vastly changed. Originally, I didn't think that much of the movie, like I said, but I would have given it like a 5. Now I'd give it like an 8.5 out of a 10 or something. I really enjoyed the movie now because even though I'm not like the greatest CGI fan, I think it works for this movie. The movie looked gorgeous, especially in the later half, and yeah, so I haven't spoiled anything, but this will have spoilers in it, so I'm going to put it in the title. If you get spoiled, it's at this point, it's just your fault because I'm telling you, I'm putting it in the title. But once you get to like the past Piccolo getting his like potential unlocked by Shenron, I'd say the art style kind of changes in a way. I know it doesn't, but when it comes to the combat scenes, if you're watching sub, you're trying to focus on like the dialogue, reading the dialogue, watching the fights, figuring out what's happening, and it's a lot to take in sometimes. But once you see Piccolo get his potential released by Shenron, that's when the movie starts to pick up the pace a little, because at that point he's already encountered like Gamma 2 or 1, whatever one it was. I think it was 2, the blue one. So he knew he needed to get stronger. So there are some things I liked and don't like. I'm still not the biggest fan of the CGI, but I do think it was gorgeously done. It was phenomenal, especially for like Orange Piccolo, Giant Piccolo, Cell Max, Beast Gohan, even though they didn't call it that in the movie, but that's what apparently it's being called. It looked great. His special beam cannon, all of it was phenomenal. But I can't help but compare it to the Broly movie, because I think the Broly movie was like 4 years ago at this point, something like that. And it was gorgeous. I liked that style. I didn't like the 3D CGI that you'd see when like Broly was coming out of the hole, or when they were doing the Kamehameha and Galick Gun. I didn't like that art style. I definitely preferred this superhero style more. But honestly, I just prefer Broly because I can't lie, I'm biased. I'm one of the basic people who like the fusions. I like Gogeta. Sorry, Vegito fans. I've been like a Gogeta fan since Fusion Reborn. No hate against Vegito. It's just, I don't know. Anytime he's ever on screen, he's cool until you see Gogeta, if that makes any sense. Even though Gogeta was there for like 5 seconds, Soul Punisher, and that's it. But the Broly movie actually gave him some light. So honestly, aside from art style and my biases, I'd say it's a pretty comparable movie plot-wise, transformation-wise too. When I was watching it on my computer months ago, I didn't have the feeling of this is hype, this is happening. Like, there was some points in like the Broly movie in theaters, I could find myself tearing up. I was so excited. It sounds retarded, but that's just how it is. In the theaters today, I found myself doing the same thing, even though I know Piccolo wasn't dead, but it still happened. When Gohan went Beast, it still happened because it did the red line like it did in the Saiyan Saga, the Cell Saga. It's kind of nostalgic in a way. So I like what they did with that. I like how they introduced 21, though not really officially 21. They showed Vomi, or I think that's what they called it, or on the screen. of the wife of Zero. See, if you know Fighters and Xenoverse and whatnot, that is Android 21, but they did not say it was just her person. So it did introduce her character in a way. It introduced 16 again, like Jiro's grandson. I never liked the Red Ribbon Army, even in Dragon Ball. Just wasn't the biggest fan, but I think they're okay here, maybe. I didn't like the art style again. It was beautiful, and I'll give it the benefit of the doubt, but I'm just not the biggest fan of CGI. But it was better than like the Broly movie CGI, so I'll give it that. And I think with what they had, it turned out great. I feel like some of the transformations were very forced in a way, which I know it's Dragon Ball. There's always someone stronger. There's always an unnecessary like transformation. I mean, I think in this movie, Gohan was like base getting clapped, Super Saiyan getting clapped, Pan does her fake scream thing. You see Mystic Gohan, he starts to compete a little. And until then, it's just, I don't know. I feel like everything you've seen Gohan do up until this point is meaningless in a way. I mean, I know it's not because he still took down Cell and whatnot. But I feel like he's undervalued in the movie. I know he hasn't been training, but there's that. Oh yeah, I'm playing this like in person because sometimes auto literally just loses at these later stages, like past 780. But I mean, transformations feeling a little forced. It's fine. I do kind of enjoy the fact that Goku and Vegeta weren't the main characters. I understand that's something some people have wanted for a very long time. But I did miss them a little being on screen, though you do see them fighting and whatnot. I've always been a Gohan fan. Not more than Goku, but that's fine. I appreciate giving Piccolo some love with his whole Orange Piccolo and like whatever he wants to call that giant Piccolo. I liked that form too. Massive Chad vibes. I find it odd that Shenron gave him a bonus that he never actually wished for. It's kind of weird. But if someone hasn't seen the movie yet, I definitely give it a watch in theaters because I feel like the quality jump between like the DVD version or a bootlegged version or like a Crunchyroll version, it's all just going to be lackluster compared to the theater experience. Now, there was only like 6 people in there when I watched it, which originally when I bought my tickets, I was the only one. For the sub version anyway. But they weren't like the people who'd yell and scream. Even when you see Beast Gohan, no one screamed. It was great because I don't like when people yell in theaters, even if they're hyped. It just feels pointless to tell people to mute their phones and then you have someone neighing and yelling over some transformation. But I'm glad I did have prior knowledge of the movie because originally my point when watching it previously was to avoid spoilers because if you're like a Twitter user or Facebook or internet in general and you're trying to avoid spoilers for, 2 months, you're shit out of luck. And then like Dokkan had a data download. It's like, oh, cool, look, Cell Max. You're fucked if you haven't seen the movie. It's too late. So I just watched it preliminary to get it out of the way. I wouldn't be scared to use social media at that point. But overall, I'd say the movie was, I think, give it 8.5 and 8.5 or so. It was a good movie. I definitely enjoyed it more than my original viewing. So I know the movie's not getting a lot of popularity or whatnot, and people say it's like the advertising thing that Toei did and how they sucked with it. I don't know if that's the reason, but it is what it is. But if you get a chance, I would say go and watch it in theaters, especially if you're a Dragon Ball fan, obviously. And another thing I didn't really care for was they didn't really address when the movie takes place or which canon it follows, if you know what I mean. Because like at this point we have the anime canon, the movies canon, and the manga canon. It gave us absolutely no information as to when this all took place. So like Broly was in the movie. So obviously it's post Dragon Ball Super Broly. Cool. But Broly kind of appears in one manga panel, how they kind of summarize that, hey, this actually happened. It shows Broly. So I'm not sure if it's following that from the manga or, the Broly movie itself. It also addressed Frieza getting resurrected with the Dragon Balls, that happened. I think that was in the Super anime, and they have the Resurrection F movie, but that never happened in the manga. I can't remember if they spoke about it or not. I think they did, but like the arc never actually happens. So from the way I understand these things or whatever, like in my head, Z ends or whatever, but then Super comes out and it takes place before the ending of Z, ideally, I think. So, Battle of Gods happens, like Resurrection F happens, the Broly movie happens, all these things happen, but none of them are actually stated in the movie. So I'm not really sure if, like, for instance, Moro and Granola arcs that have already finished in the manga or are like wrapping up right now, like the Granola arc, have they happened? Are they not going to happen? I don't know, because you see like Gohan and Goten grown up, like not tiny kids anymore, but they don't really show up in the manga either. So I just wish they'd give me more information, or people more information as to when this takes place. I know the Super anime is supposed to be coming back. That's been like a leak for a long time now, and I don't know if it has any merit. Obviously, as like a Dokkan fan and a Dragon Ball fan, I hope it comes back, because anything they ever do with Dragon Ball increases the lifespan of this game right here, which, I mean, I play this game pretty much every day, if not every day. So I really hope Beast Gohan comes to this eventually. Actually, wait, it's daily. Daily's reset. So yeah, let me go do this real quick. I think actually Dragon Ball Superhero Gohan, like the base free-to-play player or unit, should be in the game at this point. Maybe? I'm not sure. I'll go check. I don't know if they even gave us release date on that. It might come tonight. But, obviously farm him up if you want. Yeah, I play this game every day. Like, I'm 25 days away from day 2000. Ooh, I'm so excited. But that's pretty much all I really have to say on the movie itself. If you want to watch it, go watch it. If you don't want to watch it, don't go watch it. Don't try to take away, like, if someone says they enjoyed it, don't, like, meme on them, hate on them because you personally didn't. Let them enjoy it. Let them have their happiness, If you didn't have it or like it, cool. Well, I'm sorry you didn't like it, but not everyone's not going to like it. Not everyone will. I'm assuming more people are like CGI fans than I am, but if me, someone who doesn't really like the CGI animation, can love this movie, I'm sure someone who loves CGI can. But good luck with this Dokkan, all 999 stages of absolute pain. And I do hope people watch the movie, so that'll be all. Thank you.